Okay. Hi everyone. Good morning. So this is our another session, demo session where we are going to learn about the C sharp first. Okay. Yesterday we gone through some examples in HTML. We saw that how we can work with the HTML pages. Now we will see how we can create some sample programs in the C sharp. So that way you will have some understanding about front end technologies as well as back end technologies. Okay. Uh, yeah, so let's get started. In order to work with C Sharp, you will require the Visual Studio IDE. How to download and install that IDE? First of all, we will talk about that, and then we'll go ahead and open the console application. So what you can do, you can just go to the google.com and find here Visual Studio 2022 download. Okay. Yeah. So once you go here, then what you can do, just click on the first link, download Visual Studio IDE. Okay, second link, sorry. Once you reach here, what you can do, scroll down and click on the download community 2022. Okay, there are three types of versions available: professional, enterprise, and community. Okay, I will tell you the big little bit difference. You can see this community edition is free for individual developers, academic users, and it is open source. Okay, individual users means we, right? We are working as an individual developer. So if you are an individual developer, you are eligible to use this community edition at free of cost. You don't have to pay for it. Okay. Also, if you want to use this IDE for your learning purpose, you can use that. As an academic, your colleges, schools can also download it at free of cost. It is open source for them. But let's say you are having one IT organization, right? And you are having organization more than 100 developers. So in that case, you have to pay for it. So professional version is not open source, it is a paid version. And you have very big organization. For that, you have to use the enterprise version, which is also paid. Okay, it is not free for all, it is only free for some individual developers like us, and then we can download it. So you can go here, click on the community 2022, download it, and then you can use that. Got it? Let's close it. As soon as you install this Visual Studio, you will see the window like this. Okay, Visual Studio 2022. And here you can basically create a new application. So how to create a new application? Just click on the create a new project. And for now, we will see console application. Okay. So just search for console app. Now there are two types of .NETs you will see here. One is .NET Framework, second one is .NET Core. Okay, for understanding, learning your C# programs, basic programs, I would suggest go with the .NET Framework. Okay, because in that you will get some main method, program class, and all everything. Okay, so go with the .NET Framework. This one, console app in the bracket .NET Framework. But if you want to use, let's say, latest version of the .NET, that is .NET 8, in that case you can use .NET console application, this one. So this console application does not have uh, okay, this console application does not have uh, the .NET framework. It is open source. .NET Core, .NET framework you can choose for time being and click on the next button. Okay, console app in the bracket .NET framework. Okay, this is the legacy version of your .NET. You can use that. Then you can just enter your project name like my sample application. Okay, and you can choose any folder here. Like I want to create my sample application in, let's say, .NET Core project. That is fine. And you can choose your latest version of .NET framework, that is 4.8. I'm choosing this one for now. Click on the create. Okay, now as soon as you create a new .NET console application, you can see here I will give you some little bit idea about this IDE. Okay, this is Visual Studio IDE and how to use that, where you will find all the important links and important windows. So this is the Solution Explorer. Solution Explorer is the window where you can see all the files available into your project. Okay, so this solution window has one file, one project, call it as my sample application. And this also has one solution, that is my sample application. Inside this solution, we are having a project. Inside the project, we are having two files. One is program.cs, second one is app.config file. Okay. So these two files you will get automatically once you create a new console application. Then this program.cs, what is CS in this case? Why our files are having a CS extension? Because this program is a class name and CS means C sharp. Okay. And period dot. Okay. Period and then CS. So period means this is the extension of your class file. Okay. CS. In Java, we will have Java, right? Dot Java. So same in .NET, we are having .cs. Now let's jump into the program. Okay, if you open this file, you can see whatever file you want to open, that will be get open in the left window here. Okay, in the right window you will see the Solution Explorer. In the left window you can see whatever file you have open here. Also, if you want to close the project, if you want to get some additional options, you can check this menu bar. Okay, in this menu bar, if you open file, you can see new, open, clone repository, start a window, add, close solutions. All these things you can see. So if you go here and click on the close solution, it will basically close your project. Okay, and now if you want to reopen that project, you can see today I had opened this project. So that's why it will show in the recent project history. If you double click on that, it will again open in the same window. Okay, now just make sure you have opened the Solution Explorer in the right side and file open in the left side. That is very important. Okay, now let's see how our program we can write. So let's write one hello world program in the C# first. Okay, hello world. So in order to write the hello world program, first of all you have to understand the structure of your C# file, C# class. Okay, C# is a object oriented language. First of all, give me the let me give you some basic information. Like, what is C sharp? C sharp is object oriented programming language. It is server side programming language which you can use for writing the server side operations. Okay, so server side means I will give some example. Let's say you are working with one of the web application, and client side means whatever front end part of that website you are seeing on the browser, that is your client. And from that web page, if you want to uh, make some operations at server side, so what you can do, let's say you are submitting one form. Okay, I ask you to fill the admission form, let's say. So in that case you will fill all the information in the browser, and if you click on the submit button, then that information we will save at the server side in the database. It means we will send that information by using the API call to the server, and server side we will have some code. That code will be written in the C# language in order to do the database communication. Okay, so that kind of code we can write in the C#. Got it? Now let me open one diagram here. Okay, this one. So if you see that this diagram, we're having web application client 1, Android application client 2, and iOS application as a client 3. Okay, all these clients are basically interacting with our hosting server. Okay, our hosting server is interacting with our API server, and API server is interacting with the DB. Okay, so where you will use the C# language, you will use that language at the API server. Got it? C sharp. Okay. So C sharp language you have to use at the API server because API is your backend server. Where you will use HTML language, you will use HTML language to the web application client. HTML. Okay. So HTML is a client-side markup language. You have to use that language at the web application client side. Okay. If you want to create an Android application, you have two choices. You can either go with the native language or you can either go with the Ionic language. Okay. Native language means Java. Okay. By using the Java, you can create the Android application. But let's say you want to use some Ionic framework, you can also use that. Okay. Ionic. So in the Ionic, you can use Angular native, React, or plain JavaScript. Fine. Okay. So these are the basic languages in order to create the Android applications. Okay. Now, if you want to create the iOS application, you have to use C, C++ core languages. Okay. C, C++ or Swift. Swift is one of the language which will help you to create iOS application. Also, you can go with the Ionic, Angular, React, JavaScript if you want to create the iOS application in uh, third-party languages like by using the Ionic. Okay, but if you want to use native application, you can go with the Swift, C, C++ language. So these are the languages you can basically use for creating the client-side applications. Now, you cannot use C sharp here anywhere, but if you want to use the C sharp, whatever we are going to learn now, that language you will require at the API server level. I hope you got the understanding where we can use the C sharp. Now let's go to the C sharp. Let's understand the class file structure. So if you see here in the class file, we're having using space using name. Okay, this is package name. Using another package, using another package. Okay, so these many packages we are basically having in order to use them in the current program. Why we require packages? If I remove the package, then what will happen? Okay, as of now, if you remove the package, nothing will happen. It is perfectly fine, no errors. Okay, but if you want to use some other functionality which is available into a different package, that functionality you want to use into our current class, in that case you will require to add or import that package into the current class. Okay, if you know C++, you will definitely aware about this one, hash include iostream.h. Okay, so not hash include. Okay, if you're aware about the C++, if you create any sample program during academics, then you should be definitely aware about conio.h. Okay, these two, without these two packages, we cannot even write a single C++ program, right? Because these are very basic packages we have to include into our current program in order to start with the sample application. Same thing in the C sharp, you can also import other packages by using the using keyword. Okay, using system. System means our main package where we will have other uh, console.writeline, console.readline related classes. Okay, so this is how we can import the third-party package in the C sharp. Okay, now as of now, I do not record anything. Let's remove that as. What is namespace? Namespace means the current package, where in which package you want to add this class. That is your namespace. So package means your solution, let's say. Okay, solution name is my sample application. Sorry, package name is your project name, not solution name. Okay, so your project name is my sample application, which is added here. Now, inside this project name, I want to add my class. So class name should be same as your file name. If you see here, your file name is program.cs and my class name is program. Okay, so it should be matched to avoid confusion. Okay, if you change the class name here, there is no problem, no harm in it. Okay, why? Because it will work. But why we want to keep the class name and file name same? To keep consistency and avoid the confusion. Like if I close this file, still by looking at the file name, I should be able to understand what kind of class it is. Okay, so that's why we require our class name should be same as our file name. Number one. Number two, while declaring a class, what is the signature of it? Signature is internal class program. Now question should come in the mind that what is internal? Okay, what is internal? Why we need to write that internal thing? So you can write internal is your one of the access specifier. Okay, what is this? It is a one of the access specifier. How many access specifier we are having in this C sharp? Number one is internal. Number two is public. Number three is private. Number four is protected. Number five, protected internal. Okay, so these many access specifier available in the C sharp. What is the use of access specifier? Access specifier will control the accessibility of your current class. Okay, if you mention internal, it will be only accessible within current project. Let's say I have one more project here, my sample application 2, and I am trying to access this class into that another project. It is not possible. It will not allow you to access. Okay, because because that class has the internal access specifier. Got it? Next one is public. Public means you can access this class anywhere in the program, anywhere in the solution. So let's say you have 10 more projects here. And if you want to access this program class into other project as well, you can definitely do that. No issues in it because it has public access specifier. Got it? Now I wanted to use private. What is private access specifier? You cannot use this class outside of your current file, outside of your current class. Okay, you cannot use this class outside of your current class. Let's say I have just mentioned public static void main, right? If I change it to private, I cannot use this method outside of current class. If class itself is a private, then you cannot use this class outside of the current file. Got it? So public private means within a current class only. Okay. So what we were discussing about, the access specifier, right? So in the access specifier, what we just learned, internal access specifier we can only use when you want to use this class within the current project. Public access specifier we can use when you want to use this class within a current project as well as into another project as well. Okay, so let's say आपल्याकडे या ठिकाणी 10 प्रोजेक्ट्स आहेत अँड 10 डिफरंट प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये तुम्हाला काय करायचं हा क्लास वापरायचा. सो या क्लासला काय करायचं मग पब्लिक ऍक्सेस स्पेसिफायर टाकायचं. वन्स यू ऍड द पब्लिक ऍक्सेस स्पेसिफायर आपण हा क्लास 10 वेगळ्या प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये यूज करू शकतो. वी कॅन यूज दिस क्लास इनसाइड दिस प्रोजेक्ट as well as outside this project. Okay, then प्रायव्हेट ऍक्सेस स्पेसिफायर आपण कधी यूज करणार ज्यावेळेस तुम्हाला या क्लासला फक्त करंट फाईल मध्ये यूज करायचं आहे. आणि जर प्रायव्हेट ऍक्सेस स्पेसिफायर आपण मेथड लेवलला टाकला किंवा प्रॉपर्टी लेवलला टाकला तर त्या क्लासमध्येच फक्त आपण ती मेथड यूज करू शकतो, तर क्लासच्या बाहेर नाही. ओके. प्रोटेक्टेड ऍक्सेस स्पेसिफायर कधी वापरायचा? ज्यावेळेस लेट्स से यू आर वर्किंग विथ द इनहेरिटन्स. What is inheritance? Inheritance means you can derive a new class from the base class. Okay, we can create a new class from the base class. So in that case, जर तुमच्या क्लासमध्ये प्रोटेक्टेड ऍक्सेस स्पेसिफायर असेल तर तुम्ही तुमची मेथड किंवा प्रॉपर्टी त्या क्लासमध्ये यूज करू शकता किंवा त्याच्या चाइल्ड क्लासमध्ये यूज करू शकता. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज प्रोटेक्टेड. Okay, and protected internal means what? You can only use the resources of your current class within a class as well as in the child class, but child class should be a part of current project because of this internal keyword. Okay, समजलं का? प्रोटेक्टेड इंटरनल कधी वापरायचा? तुमच्या क्लासमध्ये तुम्ही यूज करू शकता किंवा चाइल्ड क्लासमध्ये यूज करू शकता, बट तो जो चाइल्ड क्लास आहे that should be a part of your current project only. Got it? Okay, now let's move on. Okay, I hope you got the understanding about this keyword, why we added public keyword here. Okay, class keyword you can use in order to create a new class. Okay, जर तुम्हाला नवीन क्लास वापरायचा असेल then you can just create a new class by using the class keyword. Next is your class name should be start with the capital letter. Okay, and your class name should be the same as your file name. Next is inside your class you will have one public static void main method. Okay, so public static void main, why we have added this method here? Because this method should have the static keyword. First of all, public is not required. Okay, because class itself is a public, so method cannot be public. That is fine. Why we added the static keyword here? Because this is your entry point method. ओके, हे काय तुमचं एंट्री पॉइंट मेथड आहे. आणि एंट्री पॉइंट मेथड म्हणजे काय? ज्यावेळेस मी प्रोग्राम रन करणार, हा प्रोग्राम ज्यावेळेस मी रन करेल त्यावेळेस प्रोग्राम क्लास मध्ये असलेली मेन मेथड ला ऑटोमॅटिक कॉल जाणार. ओके, दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज एंट्री पॉइंट मेथड. सुरुवातीला ह्या मेथडला तुमचा ऑटोमॅटिक कॉल जाणार, आणि जर ऑटोमॅटिक कॉल जाऊ द्यायचा असेल, that's the reason you have to keep that method as a static, because static method we can access without creating an object of your current class. What is object? How to create object? ते सगळं आपण डिस्कस करू, डोंट वरी. बट ही स्टॅटिक मेथडला मला कॉल द्यायचा असेल तर मी कसा कॉल देणार? क्लास नेम डॉट मेथड नेम असं या ठिकाणी. क्लासचं नाव काय आहे तुमचं? प्रोग्राम. मेथडचं नाव काय आहे? मेन. दॅट्स इट. अशा पद्धतीने आपण त्याला कॉल करू शकतो जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस स्टॅटिक कीवर्ड. बट जर स्टॅटिक कीवर्ड नसेल, नाव इफ यू वॉन्ट टू कॉल दिस मेथड, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हॅव टू क्रिएट अन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ युअर क्लास. कसं ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करतो आपण? पब्लिक ओबीजे इक्वल टू न्यू प्रोग्राम. ओके, अशा पद्धतीने, नॉट पब्लिक ऍक्च्युली, इट शुड बी अ प्रोग्राम. अशा पद्धतीने ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करतो आणि मग त्या ऑब्जेक्टला धरून त्या ऑब्जेक्टचा यूज करून आपण काय करू शकतो? अशा प्रकारे मेथड कॉल करू शकतो. So basically you have to write two different lines here. First of all, create an object of your class and then call the method using that object, because you do not have static method. But if you mark it as a static here, then you can call the method name by using the class name. And in order to call the method using class name, we need to keep it as a static, because compiler will not going to create an object to call the method. It will directly call program name dot method name. Method name should be main only. You cannot change this. Also, method name should be start with the capital letter only. We cannot change this. So this is the very basic structure of your C# application. In this application, in this program file, basically, we just saw why we require to add the static keyword and what should be the method name. Now let's discuss about the return type. See, method, every method has at least some return type. Okay. In this case, we are having void. Void means nothing. I don't want to return anything from this method. That is called as void. Okay. रिटर्न टाईप का लागतो आपल्याला? का लागतो? बिकॉज जर आपण या मेथडमध्ये काही ऑपरेशन केलं, काही बिझनेस लॉजिक लिहिलं आणि मग आता मला त्या मेथडचं आउटपुट रिटर्न करायचं, ज्या ठिकाणी मी मेथड कॉल करेल त्या ठिकाणी मला काहीतरी कम्प्युटेड व्हॅल्यू मिळेल, ट्रान्सफॉर्म झालेली व्हॅल्यू मिळेल, जी मी या मेथडमध्ये ऑपरेशन केलं आणि मग याचं आउटपुट मी रिटर्न केलं. ज्या ठिकाणी मी ती मेथड अशी कॉल केलेली असेल त्या ठिकाणी यू विल गेट द कम्प्युटेड व्हॅल्यू. Okay, final output of that method, and you can use that output for your further program execution. Okay, मग ते आउटपुट मला रिटर्न नाही करायचं, मेन मेथडच्या बाहेर मला काहीही आउटपुट रिटर्न नाही करायचं. इन दॅट केस, ओके, इन दॅट केस वी कॅन मार्क द रिटर्न टाईप ॲज अ void. गॉट इट? सो अशा पद्धतीने आपल्याला काय कळालंय की ही लाईन का लिहिली आहे, ही लाईन का लिहिली आहे आणि ही लाईन का लिहिली आहे. Okay, we have just discussed about each and every keyword which we got as a default program while creating a new application. Okay, आपण नवीन ऍप्लिकेशन बनवल्यानंतर या सगळ्या लाईन्स का आल्या आहेत, या प्रत्येक लाईन मध्ये त्या प्रत्येक कीवर्डचं काय मिनिंग आहे आपण ते समजून घेतलं. ओके, जर तुम्हाला हे माहिती असेल की वेन टू यूज स्टॅटिक, वेन टू यूज पब्लिक, वेन टू यूज void कीवर्ड, तर यू विल बिकम अ गुड डेव्हलपर. बिकॉज इट इज नॉट समथिंग की कोणीतरी लिहून ठेवले मग आपण वापरायचं, असं नसतं. का लिहिलंय, त्याच्या मागचा पर्पज काय आहे, दॅट वी शुड नो. ओके, नाव स्ट्रिंग ॲरे अँड आर्ग्युमेंट्स, व्हॉट इज दिस? ओके, बघा काय असतं की कोणतीही मेथडला जर तुम्हाला काही पॅरामीटर पास करायचे असतील, ते पॅरामीटर वी कॅन जस्ट ऍक्सेप्ट इन द राऊंड ब्रॅकेट्स. दिस राऊंड ब्रॅकेट ओपन, राऊंड ब्रॅकेट क्लोज. या राऊंड ब्रॅकेटला वी कॅन कॉल इट ॲज अ parenthesis. Okay, parenthesis we require to pass the parameter to method. Simple. Okay, आपल्याला काही पॅरामीटर पास करायचे असतील, then we can pass them as a parameter to the method inside the parenthesis. Okay, आता याच्यामध्ये जर तुम्ही बघितलं, एक स्ट्रिंग नावाचा कीवर्ड वापरला. व्हॉट इज स्ट्रिंग? So string is one of the data type in C# language. Okay, you can use string data type to declare a string variable. Okay, why to use string variable, when to use string variable? String variable you can use when you want to basically keep some string into the memory inside the variable. Okay, जसं की मला एक मेसेज हॅलो वर्ल्ड नावाचा मेसेज मला कुठेतरी मेमरीमध्ये ठेवायचा आहे. सो इन दॅट केस I will basically create a new variable with the string data type. I will assign hello world message to that variable, and we can save that variable in the memory. It will automatically save actually. Compiler will save that variable inside the memory as a string data type. So string is one of the data type. Okay. आणि त्याच्या पुढे तुम्हाला असे स्क्वेअर ब्रॅकेट केलेत बघा, स्क्वेअर ब्रॅकेट ओपन, स्क्वेअर ब्रॅकेट क्लोज. असं काय केलंय? कारण की मला स्ट्रिंग ॲरे डिक्लेअर करायचं. ओके, ॲरे मीन्स वी कॅन स्टोअर मल्टिपल व्हॅल्यूज इन टू द व्हेरिएबल. जर मला स्ट्रिंग टाईपचे मल्टिपल व्हॅल्यूज या व्हेरिएबलमध्ये ठेवायचे असतील तर आपण ॲरे वापरू शकतो. गॉट इट? आणि व्हॉट इज अर्ग्स? अर्ग्सचा फुल फॉर्म आहे आर्ग्युमेंट्स. ओके, आर्ग्युमेंट्स मीन्स मला स्ट्रिंग अर्ग्स नावाचा व्हेरिएबल आहे आणि याच्यामध्ये जे काही मी कमांड लाईन पॅरामीटर पास करेल while calling or running this program, I will pass some parameters as a command line arguments. So those arguments will basically added into the string array, and we can use that as an input inside our main function. Okay, I hope you got the idea why we use namespace here, why we use public class program, and why we use static keyword, void keyword, method name, string keyword, and arguments with the square bracket. Okay, this is very basic structure of your C# application. If you create any new C# program, you will require to create a program.cs file. Without this, we cannot enter into your program. Okay, So program class is an entry point method of your .NET application, console application. Okay. program.csv फाईल तुम्हाला 100% लागेल. म्हणून त्या फाईलचं आपण काय केलंय, we just discuss about what are all things available in the program.cs file. Okay, let me stop the recording. We'll discuss remaining part, how we can write the definition for this main method and how we can write the hello world program in C#. We can discuss. Okay.